Welcome back to Let's Play Cry of Fear. Last time, this place happened, and I died. This time, I come back for revenge. Yeah, I'm just joking now. There should be one of them. What the? I swear I was out of range and I got hit a couple times by that. Game's starting to have some strokes up in here. Wait. Sledge is... Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer! Sledgehammer! Oh, wait, wrong house. Walk up the door, smack with sledgehammer. Wait, this isn't my house. Ammo for the gun that I don't have. A syringe. Ammo for another gun I don't have. Whoa, I don't remember you guys being there before. Did you just go through the wall? Oh, there would have been 2 magazines for the assault rifle. So if I have to do this again, then definitely go with the assault rifles. The enemies don't seem to be having issues going through walls. There's one of them dead and dealt with. I don't know where a safe place to stand and heal is, though. There we go. 2 smacks from the sledgehammer deals with him now. 1 smack from the sledgehammer deals with him. It's because there's 2 of them right here, it's being problematic. I don't understand what's going on. What hit me? I was trying to heal. I'm getting sick of this area royally. Okay, throw away the pistol then. You know what? No, I'm gonna need that in a second. I'm actually gonna need the pistol for one thing. This area is becoming a royal nuisance. The flying beds are just an ammo waste, unless you've got the sniper rifle. They're still kind of a waste, but 1 shot. Now, drop that. And get that, because I'm going to get 2 sets worth of ammo for that. What the? Oh, it stuns them. Does not seem to do much in terms of damage, though. And it eats up stamina like a hungry badger. Hungry badgers don't eat stamina, that was just me being random. Whoa! What the heck? There's enemies that weren't here the first 2 times. Are they random? I don't know, they might be. Well, it sure seems like they are. Something is causing a different spawn. Maybe it depends on what items you have. Oh, that would be horrible. Never do that to players. Ooh, well that worked. But since this time I remembered that. Ow! One of those buggers. What the? The beds are gone. What the? Why are the... You know what? Don't question it. Roll with it. There's a bed. Going here, that's where they came from. Okay, and I see something in there. That's got my curiosity. Oh, a lantern. And a door. And inside the door is not a save point. Can't imagine why the doors don't budge. He's just a guy walking around town with an assault rifle. Like, what do the people think? Are there people? That's the other question, is like, are there people? Is he hallucinating? Is he wandering around an innocent neighborhood with an assault rifle, wondering why he can't find people? Ooh, shotgun shells and assault rifle ammo. Lucky me, those are the 2 weapons I decided to carry. I mean, that really is dumb luck, because I had no idea there'd be ammo for them. I just knew, well, I mean, outside of that first area. And watch up here, I'll probably find the holy grail of near infinite Glock ammo.
I hope Mom's okay.
What the? Which one's home? Is this home? That's not home. Is this home? Nope. I mean, I guess I shouldn't expect a giant glowing beam of light saying, "Here is home." I bet this is, because I see inside the building. There's actually something inside of this one, therefore it must be the one we need.
Mom? Mom! Where are you?
Oh,
Mom?
and it's dark.
Mom!
I'm being quiet because I hear a sound, but it might just be a ticking clock. Save point. Save. Hallelujah for save points. Hallelujah for save points. There's a book. Wait, a book. 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 Uh-oh. That's just how he started. Oh, that'd be terrifying. Whoa, what? What the? How do you stare this thing? Where's my legs? Okay, there's my legs. Oh, for the love of all that is holy. Reality broke again. Where's my legs? hard to tell which way I'm aiming. Oh. 10 out of 10 to the level designers for this, because this is freaky. In a good way. I mean, not for Simon, but design-wise. Making me wheelchair my way around through this is even better. This is the first time in my life I've ever had a game that made me control a wheelchair. And I don't mean that in the wrong way. I mean, honestly, that's, like, interesting. I just realized I've never had a game that did this before. They've done a very good interpretation of it, too, especially given that he's only got one free hand. Hey! And I've only got a pistol to deal with him with. I hope I don't die, because this would be a pain to repeat. Beautifully constructed, but for the sake of repeating it would be a pain. Sorry, random commentary. He's got a shotgun. How is that fair? Is it meant to be fair? Well, true. I'm stuck. I'm stuck on a weird broken light. I do have one minor complaint about the controls. Wheelchair or no, he could twist a little bit more than that. But I get what they're going for, the whole lack of control. And the boss is beatable. I did lose a good bit of health near in the first two sections. First one for not shooting quick enough, and the second one for him using a shotgun and me being close by. So this is well constructed so far. I'm assuming he's gonna pop out behind something. Oh, your goodness. Oh. Okay, if I had had more health. See, I hate to, I don't know, it feels... I hate to have to re-go over that repeatedly, because it kind of disrupts the immersion. But I get what they're going for. Also, unlike the, see, there it is without the post-processing. That I can't skip over the little cutscene each time. That's a complaint I've seen in many, many games. Is, that being able to... If you have to review a cutscene every time you make an attempt at something, make it skippable. Holy mackerel. Oh, gosh. I thought I broke reality. Worse than I already had. This looks like the apartment from the very start. I mean, not the start. Remember the apartment that was cable chained off, where I came in and I fell in that hole and then reality went to pieces? Because this seems to be that same apartment building until this happens. I'm glad I had to redo this part. I wouldn't have recognized that otherwise. Still not sure what accident led to him being wheelchair bound, and what happened to his lady friend, Sophie. I mean, what really happened beyond the seeing her walk off a roof in a hallucination, which may or may not have been an accurate memory. I think this is where he first comes around the corner, and I missed a bunch of shots because I didn't shoot at him. It was either here or the next corner. Yep, next corner. So I think it was here I was working on straightening up his legs. Yeah, there we go. And I'm probably better to... Next is the shotgun, then the assault rifle, then the sledgehammer. If I do it right, I should have enough ammo if I reload each time. It would be nice if it was a little easier to see where his legs were aimed. In real life, you would have a bit of an easier time seeing where your legs are aimed, wheelchair or no. The whole sense of spatial awareness and whatnot. And I'm guessing that's his arm on the wheel we keep seeing at the bottom left. The heck? He kind of hung there and just was silently shooting. I do like that my accuracy is staying really high. Then he strikes a flare and runs right at me. Aha! I barely survived that. Conclusion.
I stopped myself from doing it. From committing suicide. But it didn't only leave me alive. It also left 2 police officers dead. I killed them. Shot them both. This was not supposed to happen. Doctors testified that I was having a psychosis. Which means that my punishment won't be too hard for me to bear. I have to spend the rest of my life in a mental hospital, where nurses and doctors are taking care of me. They let me finish my book, and it has helped me a lot. I wrote a happy ending, just for myself. I feel better now. I am more at peace with myself, even though I'm still stuck in this wheelchair. But I accept that now. I can never forgive myself for shooting those 2 officers though. But I have so many supportive people around me now, so I think I will be okay. Dr. Purnell is mentoring me and is watching my progress. I am lucky to have him.
Wait a second.
Sophie visits me every once in a while.
Oh, okay, so she's
On the
alive.
doctor's letter, that is. They still think her visits are too destabilizing for me and that it hinders my progress. I keep on telling her how sorry I am for making her life miserable every time she's here. She just laughs a bit and tells me to stop being so silly. But I can see the damage I've done to her in her eyes every time she looks at me. She found a new friend, one who is there for her and treats her right. I'm happy for her, though I'll miss the good moments we've had, knowing that they'll never come back. I think this is a good time to close this book. It has changed my life forever. The end.
I'm still trying to process what happened. Chains. Whoa. Oh. Okay, very creative credit sequence. A lot of games don't do a huge amount of work on the credit sequence, so that's very nice. I'm trying to figure out whether that was the good ending or not. The shot 2 police officers bit has me puzzled. And if that wasn't the good ending, what did I do? What should I have done differently? So I will probably do a jump cut at the end and add to, I mean after the credits, and then add, I guess those are the voice actors for those characters in particular. I'm mystified by the credit sequence. This has been a very nice credit sequence. It reminds me a bit of what I've seen some, like, cinematic, well, not cinematic, some expensively produced movies do with their credits. I think one of the Avengers movies kind of did that. It's kind of like Metroid Other M's credits. The part with the chains, not this part. In the end, I've really enjoyed it. Scared the daylights out of me a fair number of times. But it seems very well put together. There's the slight issue of if you choose to leave the wrong item behind at the wrong time, you can shoot yourself in the foot or be stuck in a really bad situation. But that's probably why people recommend you keep multiple saves, which I kind of didn't until later in the game. Still trying to process that ending, though. Really enjoyed the sections of the hallucinations where reality just starts going completely bonkers. Those were well designed, a lot of creativity, and something I'd like to see more of in other games. There was one thing about the White Chamber that really pulled it together, is where you go through a door and suddenly, down the rabbit hole sort of scenarios with reality. Just, they when done like that, can really disorient the player and get that sense of helplessness going. This game really did that well. In particular, the first big one I saw, where you shatter the wall with the sledgehammer and then suddenly the hallway just goes up. And then another hallway falls apart into twisting, bloody pathways. And that last one with the body part, with the arms holding the pathways and the eyeballs and everything, was really unique. Very well done. I don't mean unique in a bad way. I mean unique as in really nicely put together. I'm gonna let the credits go. Also, not often I see credits credits that roll downwards instead of upwards. So I'm intrigued by that. I'm gonna let the credits roll as per usual, out of respect for the people that spent a lot of time making this, or making any game in general. So, not really sure what to say. That's the one downside, right at the end of a game like this, you suddenly start in your head trying to piece everything together, and it makes you get quiet and contemplative. I'm trying to piece together where those two policemen came up. Like, was that a decision I made along the way that I did wrong? And now that's gonna bother me. If I made the wrong decision and that's not the good ending, that's gonna bother me. I know one of the decision points is you can kill Carcass, which is the good choice, the quote-unquote good choice, and you can flee, which is the quote-unquote bad choice. One theory is that that's the representation of his handicap being in the wheelchair, because it's a body with no legs being held in a chair by chains, and that perhaps running away from the fight is him diving deeper into his psychosis versus coming to terms with it. Giving the doctor the gun versus not giving him the gun. If you give him the gun, that represents him trusting the doctor versus closing off further and not getting help. Those are two decision points I know about. A couple times I had to look up help, and those were highlighted a bit as big decision points. I try not to look ahead. But yeah, I'm not sure if there were more decision points. I know the game has theoretically 4 endings, and if you have 2 binary decision points, that's 4 endings right there. fight Carcass, trust the Doctor, fight Carcass, don't trust the Doctor, then run from Carcass, trust the Doctor, run from Carcass, don't trust the Doctor. So if my understanding is correct, then that means by fighting Carcass and trusting the Doctor, that was the good path, or the quote-unquote good ending. I mean, not moral good bad, but what gamers typically call the good ending, bad ending, neutral ending, worst ending, etc., depending on how many endings the game has. Some games will also say there's the canon ending and all the uncanon endings. I think Star Fox Adventures had that one. No, Star Fox Command. I think the DS one that had multiple endings, depending on paths taken. Not the one, not the GameCube one. I think that's Adventure. And that wasn't even supposed to be a Star Fox game. At the last minute, they put Star Fox into it. Not really the, quote, last minute, but ending scene 4. Statistics. Grade, D. D gets diplomas. I pass. I killed almost as many enemies with melee. Distance traveled on foot. That's nice. Syringes used. 68% accuracy, so almost a C. And I'm going to jump cut from here real quick just to look up and make sure that I got the good ending. Okay, so 1, that is the good ending. The alternative endings go much worse. Oh, darn it, I had it on screen. There it is. The fourth ending, arguably a good ending, unlocked by killing Carcass and trusting Dr. Purnell with the gun. In this ending, Simon did not murder anybody and does not commit suicide, instead being prevented from doing so by the psychosis-induced hallucination where Book Simon arrives. The real Simon works his way through the nightmare whilst in his wheelchair and engages his mental counterpart in a gunfight before triumphing and shooting his own nightmarish visage to death, showing that he no longer needs it. The psychosis ends, and it is revealed that Simon did not really shoot his twisted self, but rather 2 police officers who were entering his apartment. Doctors testified in court that he was having psychosis, and you read all that. The other 3 endings include either him killing Sophie, stashing the body, then killing Dr. Purnell and killing himself, or killing Sophie and sparing the Doctor, or sparing Sophie and killing the Doctor. The 2 bad endings involve him committing suicide, and from what a friend described, in the bad ending, things kind of spiral out of control until eventually you kill yourself. You even take a completely different route through the ending area. Instead of going home, you go to a darker, crazier world and start fighting more and more absurd enemies, including a bunch of skinned corpses with twisty corkscrew heads and one that has a valve for a head, if you get the joke. I'm assuming that's a reference to Valve because it's a Half-Life mod. If in the bad endings, you don't quote, switch Simons. Instead, you open up a cage with the valve and you kill the real Simon, in which case that would represent his psychosis overtaking him and him committing suicide. So, we did get the good ending. And then there's apparently a secret ending. Let's see. You walk away from the boot collision of the vehicle, you wake up pinned to a wall. The man is revealed to be none other than David Leatherhoff, the protagonist of Afraid of Monsters, which is apparently a game made by the same company prior to this. To achieve it, you mail a secret package located by the college. And then the co-op mode has another ending, which, in that ending, is a what-if scenario of what could have happened to Simon if he had not been injured. I'll explain the injury in a second. And that game ends with Simon and Sophie walking away holding hands and apparently developing feelings for one another. Well, she develops feelings for him. But what I forgot to say at the start of this little tangent was that the moments at the start that I questioned about where he was helping a guy and suddenly there was all the flashes and looked like somebody's head getting banged against a wall. Simon was the victim of a hit and run wherein he was pinned to a building by a car while trying to help an injured man late at night. While he survived the incident, he was crippled from the waist down and confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life, subjecting him to further mental trauma, which drove him to becoming reclusive and spiteful of his own life. Dr. Purnell was assigned to Simon's psychiatrist following the accident. In using cognitive therapy, Simon was instructed to write a book about his emotions and anxiety to get all the trauma out of his head. That reminds me a bit of, like they say, we're talking to somebody about it'll make you feel better. Writing it down can too. Simon authored the book as instructed, and the events of Cry of Fear began. The events unfolding being a metaphorical depiction of Simon's mind and his battle to purge his inner demons through writing. The actions taken during the game showing how well the therapy works. Simon played over the course of Cry of Fear is in fact a mental projection of Simon and what combats the trauma inside the real Simon's mind. The fate of both Simons depends on what ending is unlocked due to the actions made in the game. Okay, now my interpretation. Carcass is a body with no legs and arms chained to a chair. There seem to be two different camps on this, depending on which part of the forums posts I've seen. Is that since you find it in close proximity to Sophie, some people feel that Carcass represents his guilt towards how his injury has affected Sophie, and his own regret of not being able to be with her. I feel like that Carcass is a representation towards his resentment of being in the wheelchair. I read that there's a note somewhere where Simon says that he feels like a piece of meat in a chair. In which case Carcass is more or less a piece of meat chained to a flying chair. So I think that the choosing to kill Carcass means he's getting past the trauma. Well, not getting past the trauma. He's working his way through his problems about being in the wheelchair. Killing Carcass represents facing the inner demon, so to speak, versus running away represents diving deeper into his psychosis. And giving the doctor the gun is fairly obvious one. It's does he choose to trust that his doctor will help him versus does he distrust the doctor and close off more to the world. I think I may have said this in the earlier piece. But yeah, those are the two decisions you make. And we got the fourth ending, which is the good ending. And, yeah, that was my ramble. I forgot what keys I've been... There we go. Unlocked. The Afraid of Monsters suit. Oh, Afraid of Monsters game. There seems to be a piece of wall stuck to that. Oh, it's pants. Okay. Then what do I push? Oh, there we go. Half-Life Creations hoodie. Needed to click with the mouse. I forgot which buttons I was using to play the game. Sick Simon suit. Say that 5 times fast. Developer commentaries. Secret package, which that's what you deliver in the mailbox by the college to unlock the secret ending, apparently. Nightmare mode. Not gonna do that. Book page 1. Book page 4. Doctor mode. What the heck is doctor mode? The Doctor's story? Oh, looks like we're going to have more episodes. I'm going to end the episode on that note, though. Thanks for watching, as always, and I will see you next time when we find out what Doctor Mode is.